I've never heard that one. That's pretty good.
It just
got it.
It's setting up the meeting.
Good job.
Okay, here it is.
We're here. Okay. Put it on gallery view if you don't mind.
How do I do that?
Okay, towards the top right side it says view and it has a little squares.
Nope.
No? Okay.
Oh,
on the Zoom
menu. Yeah. Oh no.
Okay, are you on the Zoom camera part?
I have no idea where I'm at.
Okay.
Facebook.
Go to where our video's at, like minimize Facebook for a second.
Okay, I don't know where.
And you should see our Zoom.
Nope, I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. It'll just flash back and forth at us.
I have launch meeting. Where is this? Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
This is unreal. Oh, geez. Okay, we got it. I think. Is it on gallery?
Yes.
Phew, that was a lot. You guys who are watching, hey.
Rena's hosting tonight. Thank you, Rena, for having us.
I learned a whole bunch tonight. I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Woo.
It's good. I'll just post it to my page so we're visible there, and
yeah,
I'm sure.
All right.
All right, Rena, we're live. We're good. I'm sure there's someone watching out there. So
we got Kathleen and we got Rhonda here. So we're not alone. Thanks for bearing with us, guys. Sorry that took so long. I'm Rena and
I am Brandy from Brandy Burrow Astrology and Tarot.
And this is episode 3 of the Brandy and Rena show.
Wow, 3 weeks already. It's like our anniversary.
I know, right? Nice. Boy, and we did some interesting things. Sorry.
Pretty much. We sure have.
So I learned how to do screen share, and then we had to go in and do some configuring around to figure out how to go live. And then, you know, because we're on Zoom, so then we had to put it on the Facebook. So that's where we're at now.
But we're here. We made it.
We made it. And I'm sorry we're late. Hello, hello, hello.
Okay. Our comments, some comments will be under your page tonight, right, Rena? The holistics.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So I'll go there so we can follow along. So anyone who's watching from my page, if you will comment on the original video under Rena's page, we'll see them there.
Definitely.
Where it'll be visible. So nice. So wait, what do we got to talk about tonight? Like everyone loved the criminal astrology stuff we were discussing last week. So, and just crime cases. So
yes.
We thought we'd
Why don't you tell them, Brandy?
Why don't I tell? Okay.
Yeah.
So tonight, see, last week we did the Lacey Peterson murder case. We just kind of looked at it a little bit and kind of threw out some theories and a little bit of our thoughts about it. This week, it's all about where's Brian Laundrie and the Gabby Petito murder.
Who did their dirty laundry today? I'm just kidding.
I bet Rena did. I did a little bit of dirty laundry, but I did most of my laundry yesterday. So, and came up with some interesting things, some theories. I mean, you know, I'll never claim to know, but I don't know. I want you to start, Rena, with like your services just fascinate me. And like, I love the results of your services. And when people ask me like what you do, I have a little bit of a hard time explaining exactly what it is. So I want you to like tell us about this so it'll finally sink in. I just know I love what you do.
So it looks, well, there are certain elements of my work that are the same. And depending on what I'm doing, it's going to look different every time. But essentially, I use L rods to do my work for dowsing, which point me in the right direction as to what I need to see, what I need to know, where I need to feel. If I'm doing a geomancy session, it's what disturbances do I need to be aware of and cure to uplift the energy of the home. So there's a special way that I go in and do my connection into this work. And if you've signed up for my newsletter, you have a good portion of that. I'm going to say probably an eighth of that in the meditation that you received. So it's your foundational piece of that connection point. So I use that, and then I go up to higher levels of consciousness to connect it. I mean, it's weird, guys. Sorry. It's really cool. It's amazing work, and it looks weird every time I do it. I'm sure of it. I've never recorded myself, but so I'm going to pop this up. One of the first things I want to show you guys is, okay, this is a map of, can you guys see that? I don't know if
I can see it, Rena.
You can see it? Okay. So when we look at this map, this is where there's a red dot there, right about here. That's where Gabby's body was found. Now look at all these little lines in here. Okay, those are lakes and rivers and little, little bodies of water. Okay. And then we got this mountain range, the Grand Tetons, right? That is all geopathic stress.
That's amazing.
So what geopathic stress is, it's basically carving energy. This is like fault lines. Water is huge for geopathic stress, and it can create very negative energy in the environments that it exists in. Now, it's really interesting to me because the Grand Tetons are actually seen as kind of sacred space. Again, back to the work I do, there is, one of these spiritual, I can't think of the word right now. It's terrible. A spiritual being who we connect with. But he supposedly visits the Grand Tetons and shines light out to the planet when he visits. And this happens during like the month of June when it's wedding season. Okay. So I'm going to stop that share. So just to kind of give you guys a picture, like we're looking at geopathic stress. So there's a lot of geopathic stress in that area, which can kind of create a negative environment. The environments that we spend time in, that we work in, that we play in, they attract us for a reason. So because we need to have an experience there. Okay. So
yeah. So and I didn't explain the Gabby case. I figured everyone knows what we're talking about. This is the murder that's in the news all the time right now about the couple who was doing van life, and
yeah,
I think that's all I got to say, and everyone will know what I'm talking about. I just wanted to recap that.
I just figured everybody knew, and I was so excited. I'm sorry we didn't explain that better.
Well, me neither. I just said we're talking about Gabby and Brian Laundrie and just went into it. So I just wanted to throw that in really fast.
Good call, because my brain's not working right tonight. We did a whole bunch of hard stuff.
Mercury retrograde still in effect. So
jeez. So when I was connecting in, my spiritual boss said, there's two lines. You need to draw a line from Long Island over to this point, and then from Northport up to this point. Okay. And I'm like, okay. Oh, I work with ley lines. So it starts to make sense to me. I'm drawing. They're both from the Long Island area, grew up, born and raised. They both lived in the Northport area. So those can both be seen as karmic lines. Okay. So I'm going to share my next picture. I was
While
then
you're doing that, Rhonda had a quick question because you were mapping where Gabby was found, right?
Yep.
And she's asking, when someone passes due to something horrific, does someone need to go and clear the area, or does Mother Earth do it? I just want to throw that in real quick and see what your thoughts were.
It depends on the situation. Sometimes they're able to move on quickly, and sometimes they need help. It just depends on the situation.
Does it leave a residual, in your opinion? Like, even if they move on, is there just kind of this energy?
Not always, but in this case there is. And because it's backed, this is stuff I was shown. Because the media is so driven on it, it's holding its attention right there. That's where this energy, it becomes heavy. So, I mean, if you think of it, and if you're kind enough to do it, just send her some rose light. It kind of helps lift the situation for her to be able to see her way through this as a soul, as a spirit.
Great answer.
So there's a lot of factors that play into that. A lot of those attachment pieces come from emotions. It can be familial. Again, we're dealing with a lot of media stuff too. A lot of times we see that when, like, say you have a beloved business, you know, and you really put your whole heart and soul into this business and you don't want to let it go. There can be attachments from something like that. Unfinished business we see is pretty common. So those kinds of things. Okay, so my colors are a little funny on this picture. I'm going to pop this up. Can you see it, Brandy?
I can. Yep.
Okay.
Map of the US. Yes.
Okay, so this is actually a map of the national parks. I have no idea why I was told to grab this one. I just felt it would be appropriate, I guess. So as my boss is telling me to draw these lines, okay, you see these purple lines?
Mm-hmm.
And I extended them so you can see the vortex energy. You see where they create that X? X marks the spot in the middle.
Yeah.
And you can see, look at this angle here. See how wide that is?
Yes.
So when I look at angles like that in my mapping, that creates anything other than a 90-degree angle creates negative energy.
Oh,
Okay, so a little bit more than 90, not quite so negative. Anything less than 90, not quite so negative, but that's almost, I mean, that's getting pretty close to 180. So there's quite a bit of heaviness, residual energy that exists there. A lot of karma that's being worked out through this situation. It's very fascinating.
That is. I have a question. So when you make that bottom purple line that goes all the way to Florida,
Yes.
that goes right to his house.
Yeah. Yes. So I drew one from Long Island because that's kind of where they were born and raised, right? Both Gabby and Brian were born and raised in Long Island. And then both of them ended up living in Northport.
Okay, so those were starting points.
Yep. That's what I was told. I was told I needed to draw these lines. So I did, and that would show the energy. There was more that I could have probably dove into as far as looking further at the geopathic stress and things that exist in that factor, but this is what I was told was of importance. So I kind of was shut down to go any further, like focus on this. Again, this is every individual situation is so different, and you see what you're supposed to see.
Mm-hmm.
So then as I'm connecting in, doing this work, I'm connecting with Gabby, and she says, now draw a line and extend it through Tennessee. And I'm like, okay, why? Right? Seriously. So I go right to this midpoint here, and I drew a line straight through. I used a straight edge. And this goes through the Great Smoky Mountains. And then I was given a set of numbers. And these numbers led to a specific point, a specific coordinate. I didn't know this until I looked these numbers up. It exists right on the border of Tennessee and North Carolina. It's called Newfound Gap. So I'm thinking this is where they should be looking. 72 miles of the Appalachian Trail lies in the Great Smoky Mountains. So, I mean, it's fitting. It's very fitting to why that was shared with me.
And I haven't followed, I mean, I've been following the headlines of the case, but I haven't really followed the search. Do you know, have they searched there for him?
I have no idea. I know a few weeks ago, and I can't remember where it was, there was somebody who, I don't know, he has a job that he apparently really pays attention to detail, that he thinks that he saw him in a pickup truck. And I can't remember if that was like in somewhere in North Carolina or something, you know, somewhere in that area.
Oh, okay.
In a couple weeks, and it wasn't really confirmed, but he's pretty sure. I don't know, but as far as the search, I have no idea. I really haven't been following this just because it sounds bad. I get updates every day, so I just kind of click my updates and check real quick and then go back to real life. I really focused on this case in the beginning at first, but it's becoming a thing, you know, not that it shouldn't be a thing. This is serious matters, but sometimes this true crime stuff can really take over my existence.
Yeah. I know I haven't, I followed at the beginning when like she was reported missing, and I think I remember sending you the chart, Rena, because I pulled a chart when she went missing, and it didn't look good at all for her. But since then, it's been busy, so I haven't been able, you know, I don't check all the little details of like where they're searching for them or anything like that.
So I sent you those coordinates yesterday, and you said, well, maybe you should tell them what it led to.
Okay. So yeah, maybe kind of hold that thought. Do you have the astrology chart to share? Let's start there.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry, guys.
Preview.
Where did you go?
It was on a separate email. I don't know.
I don't know if it popped up. Goodness sakes, Brandy.
Well, it's fine.
Isn't it? It doesn't feel okay. I saved it.
People get so mad at me for that, like when things are stressful, and I'm like, it's fine, don't worry about it. Like I get in so much trouble for staying like optimistic, but no, I really do think it's okay, Rena. It's totally fine.
Okay.
Our viewers love us and hang with us while we're figuring these things out.
I don't know how to get this to pop up on mine, and I think it's the way you have it saved.
Okay. It was a PDF. Let me do a screenshot and send it to you. That might work, right?
Okay, you do that.
All right, guys, bear with us. This is good stuff. So what I will do, should I email it to you?
Yes, do that.
Okay. Now I gotta figure out how to email. From my phone. I always use this account like on the, here we go.
And now you guys know what happened.
Like I just can't like talk and do things at the same time. All right, it's on the way here. I'm gonna put chart and then you'll know. what this
Okay.
is. Okay, I believe I sent it. Yes, okay. So I just want you guys to see the astrology chart I'm going by, just so you'll know where my thinking came from and what I see, those kind of, and how I do this when I'm looking at an event like a crime or when there's a missing persons case. I've worked on a couple for some families here and there. So I just want to show you what I see.
Let me make sure it's saved there. I think so. Okay. I'm going to try to come back now. You got to find Brandy. Where did it go?
Where did it go? I don't think I can share it from my, let me see. No, I can't. I tried.
You're good. I just had to find us.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to pop this up. Hang on. There we go.
Woo! This is the chart. This is it. Okay. So, what I did, because it was really hard with this case to find a good timestamp. And what I mean is by a certain time of day when something's happening. So what I did is I used when his family reported Brian missing, and the cops arrived at their house around 5 p.m. that evening. So this is what I'm going by. So I pulled a chart for this. I want that disclosed because you have to have a good time for this to work in astrology. This chart makes sense. So I think we're good here, but just a little disclosure and, going by what the media reports. So this chart, what I'm looking at, and so this is about Brian Laundrie missing. So I'm going to look at the ascendant, which will rule Brian because he's a quote victim here, the person missing.
Okay.
And it's in Aquarius. And I'm going to go by the traditional ruler of Saturn, which he's right here. You probably can't see my mouse. Renus, hover over Saturn. There you go. So sorry, I got bossy. So he is Saturn in this chart. Look how close it is to the ascendant. It's like, 16 minutes. It's not even a full degree away. He's probably nearby his house when his family's reporting him missing. So I think there's some funny business going on with the family. This is my opinion here. So I see him close by, and the moon is a co-ruler of him. And it's in the first house, which is like the home too. So I'm like, this guy's close by. They know where he's probably at. So, and then if you will look in the 9th house, there's Venus there in Scorpio. 9th house is faraway travel. And Venus is relationships. Scorpio is a sign of death. So, and then if you go to the 8th house, I'm just kind of run over all these things and tell you how I put them together. 8th house, you have Mercury, you got Mars, you got the sun. I mean, you got this fiery sun and Mars in the 8th house. This doesn't look real good either. And then the 12th house has Saturn, which represents Brian, and it has Pluto. Keep that in their thoughts. I'm going to go back to what I think that means. So now when I'm trying to see where is somebody when they're missing, there can be a few things in the chart that show what direction. I always usually start with the ascendant line. The ascendant is 7 degrees Aquarius, okay? There's a little math involved, but basically this equals a 307 degree direction. And so I'm going to map this from his house. His house address is online, so it's very public. So I mapped his house, and I happened to put a coordinate on the area where Gabby was found in Wyoming. I didn't mean to, but I had pinned it. Well, when I was going in this direction, and you can go to the map if you want to, Rena.
Okay.
When I was starting to map this, I was going over Florida, and then I was like, well, let me, zoom out. And I was noticing that where Gabby's found is in the same direction. So I extended that line. Guys, her body was found at 307 degrees from his house.
Wow.
In the northwest direction.
Weird.
That can't be a coincidence. It was really weird. My first thoughts, and I got on the phone or got on the message with Rena, and I'm like, did he go back to the scene of the crime, or is that where he's headed, or was that his goal, at least at the time he went missing.
Which,
back there.
if you guys are true crime fans, you'll know that a lot of times these people will go back to the scene of the crime. They'll try to insert themselves in ways that are just odd and weird. Maybe there's something he felt was unfinished or wanted to help with. You just don't know.
Right. I found that for me, I mean, I've been following it in the news. I'd done a little bit of charts on, when Gabby went missing, and it looked like she probably was not alive. It never even occurred to me to think that he would go back to the scene of the crime. So that wasn't even in my head. And I was a little like kind of shocked by that. And then I mapped the point Rena got through her intuitive work and through, what she does. And if you follow that line, it's the Neptune line of the chart. If you go back to the chart and see where Neptune is at, it's 21 degrees Pisces and almost 22. It's got 41 minutes there. So that would be 352 degree direction, which is exactly where that Tennessee spot is. So, and Neptune's about sometimes deception, escape. I mean, it represents some of what's going on here in this case. So that could be, it's showing on the chart. It's hitting a certain point of this chart too. So totally fascinating.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe he, well, I don't know if he went back to Wyoming first because the heat was on in Wyoming, right? But maybe there's a point where he's gonna go back. Maybe there's unfinished business.
Yeah, maybe he's in Tennessee and trying to head that direction, but has to it's weird. This whole thing is weird. Rena, do you think it's okay to share my thoughts, what I think the outcome will be? What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is our show. We can do whatever we want to do, right?
Yes, I always try to be careful with liability. I don't want to get sued over saying something stupid or sharing my opinion. And this is my opinion, guys. I just want to make that clear.
And I think there's other people out there who have the same opinion, or at the very least wonder if it's a big possibility of the plan. So,
okay.
I think
so. With that disclosed, when I see these planets in the 8th house and I see the planet ruling him in the 12th, and Pluto's there too, my impression is that I don't believe this guy's going to be found alive. Because we got the 8th house of death, we got 12th house, which can represent death in these charts. It's self-sabotage. It's, these two houses are what you're looking at if you're trying to see if someone's still alive or not in a missing person's case. And if you see a lot of activity there, doesn't end real well. So that's kind of what I'm wondering, if that's what's going to happen.
And I'm going to go back to that line hitting on Uranus. I think he's being haunted in his dreams. Like you were talking, that escape, that it's also a planet of dreaminess.
Oh, you mean Neptune?
Yes. Sorry. Oh my God.
That's okay. I was actually looking at Uranus here and I'm like, what? But this might mean something in the chart too.
No, Uranus has something that has evolutionary speed of light. Speeding up.
Gotcha. So with Neptune, I'm sorry, say that again. I'm chewing on this and I'm trying to, I was looking at Uranus in the chart and
you're like, Rena, you're not making sense. And I wasn't. No, Neptune, I think he's being haunted in his dreams, and maybe that's what's going to drive him back to take care of his business.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, but Gabby is a Pisces, which is modernly ruled by Neptune.
Yes, absolutely. I didn't even think of that.
I didn't either till just now. I use a lot of Hellenistic approach to astrology, so I'm always on the traditional rulers, but Neptune is a modern ruler of Pisces. So I don't know, guys. What's your thoughts? Tom's like, give the deets. I did.
So I was so excited. I started doing my work yesterday morning. I'm late to the game. At least that feels late for me. And I really wanted to tell Brandy what I had found, but I wanted her to do her piece first before I told her, because I wanted to see what she thought and if anything came up for that. So it totally aligned. It was really weird. We're just not quite sure how those puzzle pieces fit together, but I definitely think there's some correlation between those 2 points. And not just that it happened in that spot. I think there's definitely some travel between the two places.
And Carrie's asking, maybe going back to the scene to do that. Yeah, Carrie, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
I think so too. Yeah. I think so too.
And now here's the thing. You have the sun it's in the 8th, which is kind of a hidden area, but sometimes on these missing charts, when you have the luminaries towards the top of the chart, and the moon's in the 1st, but it's pretty close to the ascendant. If you have the luminaries towards the top of the chart, generally the person will be found at some point. It still could be a while, but I think he will be found, at some point, period. But we'll see what happens.
Well, and I'm not from the area, but I just know what I've seen from history kind of shows. You think of the mountains of the Appalachian Mountains. Sorry, guys, I'm probably saying that wrong. You can tell me if I am. I think of people who are very protective of their properties. This is probably an area that would be safe for him if he knew some really good hideout points. I'm just saying, because there's probably some pretty sovereign people that live in those areas, people that, maybe the police don't go up in those areas because, that's considered private property, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So it's a lot to chew on here. I'll probably be following it a little closer now. Now that I went through this chart and saw, all that was going on. So, is there anything else you had to show? Any other maps, or did we cover it all?
No, that was my maps, definitely.
Awesome. And if you want to just take down the chart, unless anyone has any questions about it.
Okay. Does anybody?
I will say real quick, while that chart's still up, with the 12th and 8th house together, I wonder if this is a self-harm situation. I'll put that there and leave it at that.
Definitely. All right.
So I love this example, Rena, because it kind of shows everyone what me and you both do. It's two different tools that can get you, I wouldn't say the same results, but, kind of the same picture here.
Definitely. Yeah, it's really interesting. I will tell you, when I was connecting in, the lady that taught me how to do this work she used to call me to help her do this kind of stuff, because I could see so much. And there were things I saw that I probably shouldn't have seen. It kind of freaked me out a little bit, when you can see things happen to people, and it's just, I don't know. It's crazy.
That is one thing with our line of work I don't even have words for it, but it can kind of stop you in your tracks a little bit sometimes.
Is there anything in that chart that would show you that I got a strong sense that she kind of knew this was coming? Maybe not so much like you and me talking, but I think it was something that was happening in her mind. I think she was starting to see things again in her dreams.
Like if she had a premonition of this happening.
Right.
Well, do we want to look at the chart and when she's reported missing?
That's up to you.
To send that to you. I don't know. What do you guys think that are watching? If you want to see it, we can look at that.
Rhonda said maybe it was meant to happen in this area so that the other person who had been missing for 3 or 4 years, he was from Texas, his body was found. It's very possible. Again, that goes into the contracts that we sign before we even come into this existence.
Well, and there's something interesting. There's a lady on Facebook who does criminal astrology that I follow, and she's just she just knows so much. It's amazing. But she brought up one time, and I found it to be true now that I follow these things, that when you're tracking with astrology where someone goes missing and you're looking along these paths, you a lot of times you find other missing people or dead bodies. It's really weird how the same paths will help you solve other things along the way.
It goes into those karmic, those karma lines we're seeing. Again, the environments that we're attracted to, there's reasons why we're attracted to them. You live in your home for a reason. You're having these certain experiences in your life because the environment that you're spending your time in, whether it's at home or work or whatever, this is what you need right this second to move you through your lessons and blessings, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so, absolutely.
My daughter's watching Cassidy. She's a Scorpio. She loves this stuff. She says it's interesting, and it would make a lot of sense if he's being haunted in his dreams by what he did, to be honest. Also, if he went back to the scene too. So she thinks that makes a lot of sense too.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. I emailed you a chart if you want. Sorry, I didn't mean to. There's a little bit of a delay. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay. Hang on, guys. We got to figure out how to save this.
If I would have had my stuff together, I could have sent it earlier, but I don't know. It's a little bit of an afterthought.
Oh my God.
So what I did with her is I pulled a chart of when her parents reported her missing, which was September 11th. And there was a real timestamp on this, by the way. It was 6:55 p.m. in New York. There was only one news article, and they actually put what time the police did the report. And I was like, yes, because that always gives you the most accurate chart there. And Rena's going to pull it up, but I will show you what I saw that at the time, this is before she was found, that made me think that it wasn't going to end well for her. And this is another reason I love astrology, because it's a great tool to use for these things to get you some answers. Not that I need to know in my life, but in real life, I say real life, but in situations like where I'm really working with families or something, this is a really useful tool that can give them some answers, while they're waiting for their closure. So, one of the reasons I love astrology.
Sorry, guys, it's taken me a minute.
Sorry, Rena, I just threw that on you.
Brandy's making me do all the hard stuff.
Yeah, Rena's probably not going to talk to me ever again. So this might be our last show.
It's questionable from here. No, I'm just kidding.
Might be the season finale.
Yeah.
Series finale.
Oh man. Okay. I need to blow this up again. Okay.
I know, like, of all things during Mercury retrograde, hey Rena, you be host, you do this.
You do it.
You do it. Okay, this is when Gabby's reported missing. This is like the chart of the moment. And her family was in Blue Point, New York. So that's why this is being generated from the New York perspective. So Gabby's going to be ruled by the ascendant Pisces, by Jupiter. I go with the traditional rulerships here. And Rena, can you put your mouse around Jupiter just so, there we go. So, and it's in the 12th house. Not great. Not good, because a lot of times you see this associated with death or, under mysterious circumstances, these kind of things. And Saturn's also there in the house as well. Now the moon co-rules her, and look where it's at. It's in the sign of Scorpio, the sign of death, in the 8th house of death. right there, it's like, oh boy, I don't think she's going to be found alive. Now, if we want to look at the perpetrator, that's going to be ruled by the seventh house. It's in Virgo. So the perpetrator, whoever is responsible for her missing, is Mercury in the seventh house. Now, look what sign Mercury is in. It's in Libra, which rules relationships.
Didn't you say he was a Scorpio?
He is a Scorpio.
Okay.
So the perpetrator in this chart is ruled by Virgo, which is Mercury here in the sign of relationships. So, and it's in the seventh house of relationships as well. Now, I'm not going to say who did it for liability reasons, but it looks like someone she's romantically involved with is responsible. So,
right. And that's going all even up here.
yeah. And look at the Venus in Scorpio. It's almost on that cusp of the eighth house too. There's other relationship stuff, but the planets that rule her are just not in the best signs or not in great houses. So it did look like the outcome for her was not good. And we found out, a week later that, they found her body. So when we were looking at this and I'll just generally say, when I'm looking at a chart like this for missing person, I'm like, yeah, I don't think they're alive. So that's what I saw with her. And then Rena was asking, would she have had any premonitions? Now dreams or anything like that are generally ruled by the ninth house. You have the South Node there.
Ooh,
So that's kind of interesting.
Very interesting.
And it's in Sagittarius, which would rule faraway travel. That was pretty far from New York and Florida where she lived. So possibly that might be a marker if you were wanting to look at something like that. Another thing, I'm just looking at this. I can always find more things when I go back and visit these charts. If you look at Neptune, if we want to look at the modern ruler of Pisces, which represents her in this chart, it's opposing the Sun and Mars here in the seventh house too, which could be an indication of some violence. I did use my mediumship abilities to see what would have been the cause of death for her, and I immediately got restriction in the throat. So my thoughts were that it probably was strangulation, and we found out through autopsy that was right. That's what happened to her. So some examples of how you can use your abilities to get information about these things.
Right. Now I know you didn't pull Brian's chart, but
his birth chart.
Yeah, there was something.
I do have it. I can look at. I don't have a birth time, but I do have just a general chart from the day he was born.
Okay, so something I had seen again, just through my mediumship gifts, was that there were some abuse triggers that led to this event. Were you able to see any of that? I know.
Oh, right. I was looking for that. For that, I was really wanting the houses to kind of see something like that. He is a Scorpio with a moon in Cancer.
Right. Which is real dramatic. We're just going to say it right there.
He does have Mars opposing the moon. That could be, and I want to be careful because there's a lot of people who could have moon opposing Mars and not have experienced abuse, because astrology is very fluid. Sometimes that indicates abuse. Sometimes it just means, someone who gets angry easily just because that's their nature. It
sure
mean many things, but he does have the Mars opposing the moon, which maybe
interesting.
Let me see where his Saturn is at. He has Saturn in Aries, which is in a fall. That is not a good sign for Saturn to be in. It's kind of a hot-headed sign for something like Saturn, which is responsibility and discipline and, self-control. So, and it's kind of a wide orb, but it is trining Pluto, which can be intense.
Very interesting.
Let's see what else I find. But no, those are, I mean, without knowing where these planets are falling, just by going from planetary positions and signs, that could possibly indicate something like that, maybe.
So I have another question for you on this, on Gabby's information. A restricted solar plexus. Can you see that in this chart? Like he was sitting on her.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't know if you can correlate any.
Well, maybe. The Sun in Virgo and Mars in Virgo. So Virgo rules the intestines and that area of the body. And that's over there in that 7th house where the perpetrator is, where Mercury is at. Yeah, possibly, very, very well could be.
Very interesting.
What I don't like is that Mars there, that can also be some injury to the head. I didn't read the full autopsy, so I don't know. I just heard about strangulation.
I didn't either, but that's something she told me. It was that the top of her head hurt.
Oh. I mean, what we know with Mars there, it was violent. I mean, we know that, but yeah. Yeah, but these charts can tell you those kind of things for sure.
Very interesting. Yeah, it's crazy to me. I don't know. Mind blowing. Do you guys have any questions for us?
So Carrie is saying, she's asking you, Rena, because you tuned in with her on a mediumship level. She was saying, what about her right hand? I get lots of pain there when I try to connect.
That could be related to her scratching at him, maybe from her fall. What I saw was that he knocked her down and her head hurt. She kept saying, my head hurts. And he was sitting on like her respiratory diaphragm area. So that was already causing issues with breathing because she's little, right? She's just this teeny tiny little thing. And then I seen her put her hands up and the whole, I'll just leave it at that. It's a very sensitive topic. So
yeah. And Mandy's saying all they released was strangulation. Okay. Because I was asking if they had any other details. Thank you, Mandy. I appreciate that. So yeah, I guess, we'll see if more information comes out at some point when he's found. And one thing is cool about astrology, it's always like really easy to backtrack these cases too. So once we get some more information, we can go back and kind of
absolutely
where you can see that's visible.
That might be really cool to like revisit and do some digging then. You know what I really want to do, Brandy?
What's that?
I don't want to give you any details, but I want to look up like a specific date or somebody's birth date or something, and then have you like not tell you who it is, have you pull the chart, do some digging, and then I want to come tell a story.
Okay.
We'll pick apart the puzzle.
Ooh, I like it.
I know, it sounds like so much fun.
I love mysteries and I love puzzles. So
yeah, I think that'd be really, really fun.
You want to do that now or wait for a different show? Because
oh yeah, we'll wait for a different. Well, I gotta
get ready.
Brandy ready.
Oh my goodness. So I don't know. What do you want to do? We want to pull cards?
We can.
Okay.
We can.
And again, if anyone's watching on my page, I'm looking at the comments under the original post under Rena's page. So jump on over there if you can and leave your comments, or if you want a card, because I won't see it on my page till we're off here. So got it. Okay. So if anyone wants a card, and I think there's a little bit of a delay in the comments, so.
Do you want to do a question? Ask a question?
Yes, questions are great when we're doing these. And if it helps, I will try to stay vague so I don't put all your business out there. So I'll just try to give you your answer and your message. So
yeah. while you guys are thinking of your questions, I want to bring something to the table. For our Halloween show, I'm a big Halloween fan. If anybody has any really good spooky stories they want to share, maybe something they experienced, let us know. We would love to hear from you. Maybe this is something where you can come on live with us and share your story. If you're not comfortable doing something like that, maybe you just want to email us your story and we can tell your story for you. I just think it might be fun. I don't know.
I love it. Yes. I live for ghost stories and paranormal, and like, I can't wait to share like my first experience with ghosts, or at least the first I can remember. So while we're waiting, and you guys ask, okay, awesome. You guys want cards? Give me a question too. So go back and post your question so I know what to pull, or me and Rena know what to pull on. I'm going to do a little show and tell while we're waiting. My wonderful friend Kathleen made me this. She does glass work and she is like freaking amazing. And it's a little star. My light is low in here, but a star candle holder.
That's cool.
And look how pretty the glass is.
That is really pretty. Wow.
I just want to thank her in front of the whole world because I just love this. And guess what else I got this week, Rena?
What did you get? You found your lollipop.
Key. Yeah!
That's awesome.
It is awesome. This thing put me to work. So just a little story about me and making the show about me for a second. So my office just was not functional. It has not been functional. Like, I arranged it, I don't know how many times since I've lived in this house. And I've been wanting to rearrange it. And I had kind of an idea, but I was really scared to do it because I was like, no, I'm going to pull, I have all these books. I'm like, once I get all these things apart and move it, I'm not going to like it. I'm just going to have to put it back where it was. So this thing comes in the mail. And the next day I'm like tearing the office apart, like just like spontaneously. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I rearranged it and it feels so amazing. I can work so much easier in here. And I'm not the word blame because I'm so grateful. I'm giving thanks to the key because the key did this. It comes in the mail and now my office is all together and I feel just.
Well, it looks good. It looks good. I can see Joey in the background there.
Joey's my spirit animal. I just love Joey Ramone energy. So yeah, and I get these little Joey Ramone gifts and I buy myself Joey Ramone gifts too. And yeah, so I have my Joey section and then I got my other one, John Lennon. I just moved.
Oh,
my opposite on here. There we go.
Okay.
He's behind me. And so yeah, it just feels right. And then like when I'm working, because I do astrology readings, I can just pull my reference materials that are right behind me. So this thing
Perfect.
give a lot of practicality in my life. So
Perfect.
And you need to tell everybody where to find this again. Still available, right?
Yes. You can go to Etsy and find it on Purple Rain & Co. I'll put that in the chats.
I've been wanting this forever since you released it. And I don't know what the delay was. It's just like, I just wasn't together. And so I ordered it and Rena got it right to me. And it's amazing. It is amazing.
Brandy's was perfect. Even my husband's like, whoa, Brandy's is perfect.
Don't expect anything else. I love Rena's keys. And, I worked with the Libra key earlier when Libra season started. Got my front teeth fixed, which I was wanting to do forever. That key, like, just aesthetically made things wonderful in my life.
Awesome. Well, we are ready to rock out with the Scorpio key. It's all ready to roll. So
I can't wait
here.
Okay, let's see. Okay, Rena's got her link there in the comments, guys, for that key. All right. Well, I am going to pull a quick card for Kathleen because I'm just so excited about my gifts and I just want to draw her a quick card. Kathleen, I didn't see your question. Do I need glasses like I usually do? I didn't see. So I'll just draw you a card of encouragement. How about that? Okay. Kathleen, almost to the finish line. Okay, things are wrapping up. I know you personally, so this makes a lot of sense. You are almost there. Couple little minor details left and you're there. But here's the thing, you think like you've already had this huge release in life and like dumping the things that no longer serve you. Well, guess what? You're getting ready to have a huge release, which is a really positive thing. Like you think you're feeling it now, you're really going to feel it here next week. You know what I'm talking about with all these new beginnings. So this is really positive. There's nothing to fear here. So if there's any like, I'm worried something's going to happen at the last minute, it's not. You're almost there to the finish line. So, and things look good. And you got the magician card staring at me over here too. So, you manifested this. Give yourself some credit. You did this and it's amazing. It's for you, Kathleen.
Awesome. Awesome. Rhonda, will I find a job soon? Sometimes I wonder that about myself, and then I think about my experience. I almost said it out loud.
Yeah. Rena, you just stay home and make these keys for all of us.
Okay.
That's all you need to do.
I'll do that and play with my yarn and do the dirty laundry.
Kathleen says her new beginning starts Monday. I can't wait. Counting down the days with you, Kathleen. Okay. Did you know who you were pulling for? Do you want me to sign someone? Oh no, you were pulling for Rhonda.
Yep.
I'm such a Gemini. I already forgot what we were doing.
Yes. Yes, Rhonda. There is strong leads in the very near future. However, I see that there's more than one. So you need to kind of be careful on what you pick. Choose wisely in the sense that, yes, it's about money, but it's not all about money. You need to choose something that works from your heart as well, connects with your heart. So you got a few prospects coming. So just hang tight. Just make sure that you choose the one that pulls your heart in the right direction.
Awesome. Well, I am drawn to pull for Julie. Julie says, can I get a card for anything exciting happening in my life by the end of this year? So we have the rest of October, we got November and December. So let's see. Anything exciting happening for Julie?
Good deal, Rhonda.
Julie, you are like so creative and artistic. You have some opportunities coming there also with like hobbies. I even feel like you could be making some money from your hobbies too, or there's some kind of abundance or getting something from that's really cool. And so I see you have some really positive cards here. I mean, the 9 of Cups and the Sun. My goodness, you're going to be so excited and feeling amazing. Emotionally, you're just going to be like, I feel like this is your time of year. The last quarter, like going into December, especially, like this is a time of year where you feel really good. You feel really empowered. Just everything feels amazing. But I see exciting opportunities with your passions in life, with your hobbies. And I feel like you're going to have someone offering you something like, hey, we want you to come here and do this, something like that. Or somehow displaying your talents for other people to see with abundance coming from it. So
Cool.
That's what I see. It feels really good. These are some pretty, and you also have the Empress here. I mean, it doesn't really get better than that. It's amazing. So yeah, but definitely some excitement coming.
Own it.
Yeah.
All right. Carrie wants a card for business advancement. Draw with me, Brandy. Let's
Okay.
give her a shared message.
Let's see. And
Brandy
Teresa, thank you
loves
for
our
the
show.
comment. Sorry, what?
Oh, Brandy loves our show and all our shenanigans.
Thank you. I know I'm feeling the love and feeling the love from Risa as well. Said, good to see you. Thanks for my reading the other day. Of course. Yes. All right, Carrie, can I get a card for business advancement? Wow. I'm going to show my cards when you're done, Rena.
Mine fell.
Pick them up.
We got a few. These are the ones. Ooh, interesting. So my message for you, Carrie, is it's time to get serious about what you want. What do you really, really want? And that's where you need to focus your attention. Do a little bit of that manifestation work. This can be literally writing a letter to the universe and getting very clear about what it is you want to receive, what you're looking to create with your business. You have a lot of skill. It's just really about what do you want to do with it.
I have some similar cards. I have cards that are telling you to really think about the long term, not that you're not, but really sit down and envision, what do I want? Because I think you've been in such a building phase that it's just kind of going with it and building, but now it's like, no, now what do you want to see? What is your goals? What is your aspirations? Where do you want to see this going? And I got the same two cards. I shuffled this deck good, same two that Julie got.
Wow.
Which card and the sun. So you could have what you want here because your talents are amazing. You have really supportive people around you that can help you get there. And it's just about envisioning and really figuring out what you want, where you want it to go. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Looking at all that and manifesting it. And it looks so doable. It looks like it's in play.
So here's what I mean about getting serious with like doing your manifestation work, writing a letter to the universe. We got the Hermit and we have the Crown. So crown chakra work, connecting with the universe. It can be something simple as lighting a candle, making a wish and blowing it out. Just anything you want to do to support that. Then we have the Princess of Swords. That's all about your thoughts. She is young, creative, fresh-minded, has lots of ideas and agility, endurance, and then we have passion. So this is what tells me it's time to get serious about what it is you want to create for you. So hopefully that's helpful for you.
And I was talking with Carrie this week. She's super powerful, super psychic, intuitive. Yeah, you've got this.
Awesome. Cool. Very cool.
So do we want to do one more? How long have we been on here?
I don't care. Up to you. Who do you got?
Who do we got? I don't know. I'm looking through the comments.
I need a card.
Yeah, you do need a card.
I do.
Okay. And Carrie, by the way, says totally helpful. Isn't that fun when we team up, Rena? Like, can you just come sit in on all my readings and I come sit in on yours and you just I love that. It's so much fun. All right, Rena.
Cross your fingers for me, guys. I'm scared.
I'm not being silent because it's bad. I'm just tuning in. Just bear with me. Interesting. So it looks like, and I don't know if you've had like some trouble sleeping or just like a lot of like activity at night. I know you get a lot of ideas at night, so it makes me think that's what it is. You're gonna get a rest period. Finally.
I tried, but Max woke me up this morning several times telling me he made coffee.
I feel like, you know, at night you're going to be getting more rest. That kind of thing's getting better. There's something going on with the house. It's almost like what reminds me of what I just went through with my key in the office. There's some rearranging or some organizing that you're going to be wanting to do, because there's going to be a lot of expansion. You're probably going to be really busy here soon. So it's kind of like get things in order to where they're functioning, because things are getting ready to get busy, because make this easy on yourself. You're going to be getting a lot of clarity on some questions you've been having recently, like, should I do this? Should I do that? You're going to be getting a lot of clarity there.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to end on this. You got the star.
Oh, that's the
Sorry,
boss.
my light's on. Do we know who that is?
What's that?
Do we know who that is?
We do know who that is.
Yes. So
we do know who that is. Awesome. Guys, I'm working on, I have one piece left. I'm working on creating the Muladhara chakra class for you key holders. So I know that was something Carrie was super interested in. So it's coming very soon. Hang on tight.
Brandy is super interested in this too. So
it's gonna be fun. Yes, just kind of a different look. My last piece is to put together a really awesome meditation to go along with your key, because man, I mean, that's just one of my most favorite things to do with these keys. I love to just sit in outer space with them and hang out and just let it all tingle.
I love it. In fact, I'm going to look for it now. I'm going to be getting it ready. So, you know, you have to translate for me, Rena.
Yeah.
That's the root chakra.
Yes, that's the root chakra.
Okay. Yeah, I have all my keys here and it's in here, and I'm going to have it ready. So I hope this class is presented soon.
You're going to like it. It's fun.
Can't wait. All right. Well, so are we planning on being here next week, same time?
I think so.
Okay. And you guys let us know if there's any topics you want to discuss. You guys know we love the criminal stuff too. So if there's any cases, you're like, hey, what is astrology, or what is, you know, the dowsing and all that show?
Yes.
Those ideas too.
What day is it today? The 14th. I think next week, Brandy, I'm gonna shoot you a date and have you look it up, astrology, and then I'll kind of tell the backstory. So we can do that for next week. Okay. You guys got 2 weeks. Send us, either me or Brandy, your stories, your spooky stories to share. If you're interested in being a part of the show, we can totally do something like that too. It's just really up to you guys.
That sounds fun. So I can't wait. So yeah. And you can send them to Rena. You can send them to me. I think I always forget to tell you guys where to find me, but you can find me online at brandyburrowastrology.com, or you can find me on Facebook. Feel free to friend me, find my page, whatever. Shoot me a message. You can find Rena. Rena, tell them your website.
holistichealingtherapeutics.com. You can also find me on Facebook. My business page is Holistic Healing Therapeutics, or you can send me a friend request too at Rena Dwelly. So yeah.
Find us. Yep. We'd love to connect. So, all right. Well, until next week.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Thanks for dealing with our shenanigans as we worked out some technical difficulty kinks.
You did amazing. Good job, Rena.
We sure tried. Thank you.
Have a good See you next time.